Okay, hi everybody. I'm just checking all the tech. Last week we had a few niggles with our technology, so I'm just going to check it all out now while we're waiting for people to join. So let's have a little look. See if I can get the live up here as well. Go. See if we can get in there. Yes, you can. Great. Lovely. I've got another phone set up over here so I can see what people are writing as well. And that way we'll be able to keep in touch with each other. So we've got Elaine and Gemma joining us. And we'll turn off the sound on this other one because there's a time delay. And then we'll be ready to get started. Brilliant. I am learning so much about technology in lockdown, and I'm getting better and better each week, which is great. And I'm sure that all you little children out there are learning new things as well, which is brilliant. And any little niggles that pop up, we're able to talk about them and get some help and sort it out. So that's what I did with my little niggles last week with technology. I asked for some help, and this week I feel really ready and set up. So fingers crossed, no little niggles are going to pop up this week. Brilliant. So welcome everybody. Here we are at iSpace Wellbeing, the virtual remote classroom that I have brought into my home so that we can continue learning together while we are in lockdown. And in the iSpace classroom, we learn about how to look after our bodies and our minds. And we learn how to live life well because we're learning how to look after our thoughts, which is the way we think. And you'll remember that from last week. It's also about where we learn how to talk about our feelings and where we learn about our feelings, which is all the different ways that we might feel. And most importantly, perhaps we learn about how to share and talk about our worries, the thoughts that worry us and the things that worry us. And last week, I just want to say a big shout out to all the children who sent me in some lovely pictures of their niggle jars and shared some niggles with me. So well done, keep up the good work. This week, we're going to be learning even more. Now, I know that most of you children out there this morning have been busy, probably learning online or busy doing other things. So to start, I want you to imagine that you are a floppy puppet. Okay, so if you're sitting, just make your body go really floppy. If you're standing, make everything go floppy. And now I want you to try and wake this puppet up by imagining it has a string at the top of its head. And I want you to pull that string up as far as it can go. And then I want you to swap over with your other hand and pull that string again up as far as it can go. And now your body should be nice and awake and ready to learn. But before we start to learn, I want you to think about calming our body and our mind so that we can really zoom in on what we're doing today. Now, last week we learned how to settle our body and our mind by using our iSpace activity. And we're going to do that again this morning because the more we do it, the more we practice, the better we get at being able to calm our body down. So there's a little niggle. My phone is ringing, so we're going to just turn that off and get back to settling and calming our bodies down. So we're going to use the iSpace activity, which we know stands for I stop, pause, and when we pause, we breathe. And that way we calm everything. Okay, so for those who were with us last week, you'll probably remember and be able to start with me straight away. But anybody who's new, I'm going to go through it with you nice and slow. So we start with I, and that's for me, for looking after me. And then we stop what we're doing and we pause and we breathe in slowly through our nose. And when we do that, we fill our belly like a balloon. And then we blow slowly out through our mouth and empty the belly. We turn our hands over, we shake our shoulders, and we calm everything. Okay? So one more time together. Let's do this. I. Stop. Pause. Take our deep breath in. Fill our bellies like a balloon. Slowly out through our mouth, nice and long and slow. Empty our bellies. Turn our hands over. Shake those shoulders and calm everything. Well done, everybody. You're really getting this, and I can see that you've been practicing. So we're going to move along, and we're going to think about our lovely characters in the iSpace Wellbeing curriculum and the stories that we learn about. They live on the planet Wellbeing, and they are Aisha, Wilma, Sid, Duncan, Justin, and Niam. And you're going to see them in today's story. And today's story, you've heard me talk a lot about little niggles, our little worries, and that's what we dealt with last week. But what about our big worries? And our big worries we call stressors. And whenever there's a little niggle, a little worry about, or a big worry, which we call a stressor, they pop up in the characters' thought bubbles. And they can pop up in our thought bubbles too. Now last week we learned about how we sorted this niggle out. And I loved the pictures, as I said, that came in. Brilliant pictures from Florrie and conversations from Max and from Evan as well about how they sort their niggles out, which was we flick them away, we can shoo them away, or we can swat them. And I heard lots of lovely stories about lots of swatting that was going on last week. So this week, we're going to have another action word in this story. And when you hear this action word, I want you to stomp, because that's the word. And I want you to stomp, stomp, stomp. And that's how we sort some of our stressors out. But the other things we do to sort our stressors out is we talk and we share them. So I want you to notice all the times the characters in the story talk about their stressors, their big worries. And I want you to notice who it is that they are talking to. Now there's also lots of rhyme in this story. And one of the rhyming words is messer. And when you hear the word messer, or you think it's coming up because it rhymes with stressor, I want you to shout out the word stressor, or I want you to shout out the word messer. And when you hear the action words, I want you to do them, okay? And the other thing you can do when you hear the word messer, I want you to pull a really funny face, okay? So that's what you need to do when you're hearing today's story, which is, of course, about the stressor. So let's have a little look at what's going on in our story today. Okay, so we can see Duncan here, and he's thinking about something that is causing him a big worry. So there we are, there's the cheeky stressor. And here we go, starting our story. Have you ever had a stressor? It really can be quite a messer. So I hope you're shouting out messer and pulling a nice funny face, okay? Because this stressor can mess about quite a lot. And if we look at our picture here today, we can see how much it is messing about with Niam. Okay, so Niam is sitting here, she's looking quite worried. And the reason is because she's thinking, her thought bubble is right behind her, and she's thinking that she's not going to be invited to a birthday party. So here she is, she's quite worried, isn't she? So these are worries that get out of hand. Our stressors are worries that get out of hand. Thinking like you're stuck in sand. So she's over here thinking that she's stuck in sand because she doesn't know what to do about her stressor. So let's see what happens next. What's Niam going to do? Oops, it's go back. Here we go. It can make you feel unwell and make you wonder, should you tell? So here she is. She's feeling like she's got a bit of a tummy ache, because sometimes our big worries can give us tummy ache or give us butterflies in our tummy and make us feel a little funny. But take some time to stop and breathe. You can use your I space here. Then talk and let your stressor ease. So we see Nayan now, she's taking a nice deep breath, and in her thoughts, she's imagining blowing her stressor right away. So that's really good. So here we go. Sorry, you just go back one little slide. Here we go. Oh, it's jumping here and there. Let's go one more. There we are. Here we go. Have you ever had a stressor? It really can be quite a messer. Pulling nice and funny faces. A stressor makes your head hang low, causing you to go real slow. So here we are. Sid is worrying that somebody is messing around with his bike. And he's thinking that this stressor is going to cause him to go really slow and make him feel a little sad. So here we have it causing him to go real slow. And you can see his little backpack here. In iSpace, all the characters have these little backpacks that tell us how they're feeling. And here we have how happy the character is feeling. And this side is how energetic, how much energy the character has. And we can see, because he's worrying about a big stressor, that his energy levels are really low and he's feeling really sad too. So let's move on to the next slide. What's he going to do about it? What do you think he should do about it? Have you ever had a stressor? A stressor that you choose to hide just feels bigger by your side. So if we think about stressors, our big worries, and we just keep them to ourselves, they sometimes can get bigger and bigger and bigger. Look how big this stressor is here, because he hasn't talked to anybody about it, or he hasn't done anything about it. But talk it over with a mate, and soon your stressor will deflate. So imagine you've got a big balloon and you blow it up full of worries. It's quite a big balloon, isn't it, when you fill it full of worries? But if you talk it over with somebody, it's like letting it go, and it just whizzes off and gets really small. So next time you have a big stressor, maybe you can blow up a balloon and show how big your stressor is. Talk it over with somebody and let it go together. Well done. So, have you ever had a stressor? It really can be quite a messer. Pulling funny faces, I hope. Stressors you can make real small when you know who to call. So Duncan, he's been worrying about a race that he's going to be in, and he's worrying that he's going to fall over at the start of the race, and that's causing him to feel a little upset. But he's thinking he's going to call his grandmother about it on the phone. And we're very good at phoning people these days because we have to stay indoors, don't we? So lots of the people we talk to, we do it online, and they are our family members that we can talk to online, and your grandparents can be one of them. So sharing feelings and worries too is something you can learn to do, just like Duncan has. Say how you feel and take deep breaths. Tell someone you know the best. So that can be anyone at home, or it could be another family person that you can connect with online to help share your worries with. So here we have Wilma. Let's see what's happening for Wilma in the story. Have you ever had a stressor? It really can be quite a messer. If stressors have you in a muddle, ask for help and have a cuddle. Now, cuddles are really good. Give yourself a big cuddle wherever you are right now. Give a big squeeze and then let it go. Squeeze and let it go. Can feel really good and help you to manage your stressors. Poor Wilma was thinking about taking her lovely picture home from school to show her parents, and it blew in the wind out of her hand into a muddy puddle. So she was really upset and she went home to tell her father about it. And you can see she's got lots of feelings going on here. She's feeling angry and sad all at the same time. Now that's quite normal. Sometimes we can have more than one feeling going on. So when you have that happening, just talk and ask for help, okay? And have a really good cuddle. So let's move on and see what else is happening and what Wilma is going to do. Don't let them grow and mess about. Talking is what sorts them out. This will make them really small and leave you feeling 10 feet tall. So when you talk something over, look how happy she feels. She's feeling really good. She's sharing her feelings and her father is listening, and she is now imagining herself feeling really strong and confident and able to deal with her stressor really, really well. So what's happening next? Have you ever had a stressor? It really can be quite a messer. You shouting that word out? Fantastic. And pulling your funny face? Because let's have a look at Dunnican's face. Wow, he's like, because he's lost his school bag and he can't find it. And the bus has turned up to collect him for school. So he's feeling that there's a very big stressor about. So what's he going to do about it? They're hard to tackle on your own, these stressors, but don't ever feel like you're alone. Teachers, parents, family and friends will help bring your stressors to an end. You can talk to someone on the phone or someone on the couch at home. So he's thinking about going home, sorting his stressor out, throwing him out of the couch and getting somebody lovely at home to sit down, have a cuddle with and talk it over. So have you ever had a stressor? It really can be quite a messer. To get your stressor on the run, there are some things that can be fun. So, Niam is getting really annoyed about her computer games. That can happen sometimes, can't it? So if you're online and you're playing a game with somebody else and they win, sometimes it can be really annoying and frustrating. And I think that's how she's feeling here. So what things can she do that are going to be fun to sort her stressor out? Let's have a look. Niam's put some music on. And what she's doing is, she's thinking, you can flick and swat. And here's our special word. And stomp it out. So up, stomp, 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 stomp. Brilliant. You'll feel better without a doubt. But don't let stressors cause a mess. Talk it over. That's what's best. Well done, everybody. Really good listening. And I hope you're thinking about your flicking, your swatting, and your new word today, stomp, because we can really stomp these stressors out. So I'm just going to have a quick look at all the little notes that are coming in. Really great ideas to help, brilliant, great techniques with the boys, fantastic, thank you Maurice. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look at your activity for this week. Very quickly, what is our activity for this week? This week, our activity is our soothing box, okay? Because our little niggles, we can sort those out with our flicking and our swatting and talking. And we can do our little niggle jar. But what I want you to do this week with your niggle jar, and thank you again for everybody who sent me pictures of your niggle jars. I'd love to see some more. But what we can do is we can add some more little notes to our niggle jar, which are our stressors. Make them a different colour. You can see my little stressor jar here, a niggle jar. My niggles are orange and my stressors are that purpley pink. Okay, so when we look at our niggle jar, we can see if there's stressors in there as well. So pop them in and spend some time, 10 minutes a day, just emptying that out and sharing them with somebody at home. And don't forget to have your what can help jar as well, so that you can pick lovely activities out to do that can help you when you're sorting your niggles and stressors out. But what is the soothing box? Let's have a little look. I've made one here and I've wrapped it in my lovely star wrapping paper because it's all very spacey, which is what iSpace is all about. So what you might have in your soothing jar when there are stressors about is you might have a cuddly toy, because we know cuddles are great. And for any parents listening, cuddles are so important because they release a hormone called oxytocin, and oxytocin makes us feel loved. So really important, cuddles. The other thing you might have is your little notes for your niggle and stressor jar, because when we write them down or we draw them, it makes us feel better. You might have a picture that you want to colour in, and that might be a little picture you could do. So you might also have your colouring pencils in your soothing jar. You might have a book that you love. My book is about happiness, so it helps me think of happy things when I'm feeling worried about something. I also have pictures of my dog. This is my dog at Christmas time with his antlers on. So you might have a picture of your pet too if you have one. I have a picture of my family because my family make me feel happy. And I have my iSpace cards, because my iSpace cards help me to talk to other people and help me explain all my feelings and my worries too. I have a fiddle square, so something I like to fiddle with. You might have a Rubik's Cube, but this is my fiddle square, and that helps me to take my mind off my stressors. So you could have something like that in there too. And for me, I like to have a tea bag so that I have a nice cup of tea. For all your parents out there, a tea bag might be really something you would like to put in your soothing box too. So that is the soothing box for this week, and you can have some fun time putting something together and all your lovely things that help your children to feel calm and good and help them to sort their niggles and stressors out. So to finish today, we will finish on our iSpace activity, because as we know, the more we practice, the better we get. So I, stop, pause, take a deep breath in through the nose, fill the belly like a balloon, slowly out through our mouths, empty the belly, turn our hands over and calm everything. Brilliant, well done everyone. Have a great week and see you next week for some more. Bye, take care, thank you.